Hello. Epistract is a Claude Code plugin for building drug discovery knowledge graphs. Claude Code is Anthropic's agentic coding tool. Epistract adds slash commands that orchestrate the pipeline from raw documents to queryable knowledge graphs. Under the hood, Claude reads each document, understands the biochemistry, and extracts entities and relations into a 23-type entity schema. Let me introduce one of the scenarios. I wanted to build the knowledge graph to answer a question about GLP-1, which companies are pursuing GLP-1 for various indications. I built a corpus based on companies such as Novo Nordisk, Pfizer, and Eli Lilly, sourcing PubMed articles and patents about GLP-1 receptor agonists. This is the collection of that corpus built mostly from PubMed and Google patents to construct a high-level knowledge graph. So let's build the graph. We're running the command to build the graph, and it's showing that we have 206 entities, 630 relations extracted from 34 documents. It extracted various entities such as compounds, proteins, diseases, clinical trials, and mechanisms of action, all calibrated by document type, extracted and grounded to publicly available ONTOL OGs. Now we're going to run a command to explore the graph and interactively look at what it says. And there you go. This is the graph built by communities, grouped by entities, by topological density. This tells you where in the graph to look. For example, you can interactively navigate obesity, semaglutide, and all of these different aspects. I want to talk about an update that I made to Epistract recently. This is based on an influence by Eric Little's post on LinkedIn, where he spoke about a new kind of superdomain that captures the epistemic information associated with tacit knowledge, things that are known in the industry, things that are known by scientist pools about how classification works. It sits above and beyond your regular brute facts. Things that are taken for granted, such as PyCalm is a gene, those are simple enough entities that LLMs can extract. What they cannot extract is the tacit organizational experience and knowledge. This is the concept of the superdomain. I've implemented it here, adding a skill to enhance the extracted knowledge graph with a new epistemic layer. I ran this for GLP-1 as an example. The examples on GitHub cover multiple scenarios. I replayed this against all previously built scenarios. It shows what the epistemic layer added and what new questions we can answer. For example, for the PyCalm and Alzheimer's disease scenario, there was a contradiction and contested evidence that we were able to showcase, something that was not available before. This is an example of how well-defined communities visually look coherent, but there is contradiction hidden behind certain aspects that you are able to uncover. These are things that in the past required domain knowledge expertise to extract. Now it is implicit in your knowledge graph as additional knowledge that did not exist before. The same thing with scenario 2. We found zero epistemic content, no additional extraction required, because the landscape we were looking at did not have this uncertainty, so there was a negative control in that sense. The most interesting results came from our GLP-1 competitive intelligence scenario. It extracted a number of prophetic patent claims and was able to extrapolate the patent filings to be more granular, to say whether something is intended or if it's a hypothesis, and whether it's been proven via clinical trial. Those are some of the things we were able to find. It also extracted 4 different hypotheses for off-label GLP-1 use, different types and indications, which companies are pursuing those. Things of that nature which were not implicitly available to be searched within the knowledge graph. I found this to be a huge addition that makes the knowledge graph much more comprehensive and usable. The problem with modern GraphRag knowledge graph systems, these latent graphs, is that built communities tell you where to look. Superdomains tell you what kind of knowledge you are looking at. They are complementary, not competing. It is a layer on top. I just wanted to show you a write-up that I have done along with the GitHub repo. The main GitHub repo for Epistract is here. The instructions for installing this plugin are all given here. It's available on the marketplace. It gives you a lot of details about exactly what ontologies it uses, what naming conventions, how it works. Happy to share this with the community.